3, 2, 1, go.
And they're off.
And they're off. And of course I screwed up the timer. So you guys are going, but I gotta reset this timer. It's counting up instead of down. My mistake.
I actually got a little late on the timer because I disconnected.
There you go. Now it's counting the proper way. There you go. So you're gonna have 30 minutes and 11 seconds for this match. Okay, so this is Arkista's Ring. It is, as you can see, an RPG-ish game, top-down, sort of Zelda 1 style, but it plays very different from Zelda 1. You are going to see levels 4 through 10 here. This game has got 31 levels in a loop, and in order to get the best ending of the game, you need to beat the game 4 times, 4 loops of the game, and the enemies get progressively harder. But what you're watching is the first loop, so this is pretty much the lowest speed setting on all the enemies, and the lowest hit point setting. In each of these stages, each stage is sort of like it's a self-contained thing. The game is linear, and each stage has got a task you need to complete. You basically need to kill a certain number of enemies, and that gets the key trigger enemy to appear. That's an enemy which looks just like the other enemies, except that when you kill it, a key will appear. In this case, it appears in the upper left corner of the level. You're going to collect the key, and that key lets you open the door to the exit. Now, you'll see these guys resetting a lot at the beginning because the drops are random. If you look in those boxes in the lower left, that is your inventory, and there's a couple different kinds of offensive items that you can get. Fire rod, the lightning rod, the holy stick, and the potion are the ones that you'll be seeing. And so if you see them resetting on the first level, it's because they're not getting the drops that they want for the next couple levels.
Yeah, particular note on stage 4, you really want a holy stick to speed up stage 6, and you're not going to get any drops in stage 5, so you're going to want to get that holy stick there. So if we don't get it, we're probably going to reset.
Yeah, fortunately there's a couple of drop opportunities on this first level, but to be able to get them without going out of your way, you don't have as many options.
So the fire rod,
yeah.
you see some players are choosing to use it in different areas, but yeah, upgrades your arrows to fireballs. They shoot all the way across the screen. They do more damage. I think they travel faster too. Maybe that's just my imagination.
I believe they do. Yep, and they pass through walls and do more damage. Fire rod is a really good weapon. You keep it even after you die. You keep it even after you continue. Really, it lasts that whole level, all the time you spend in that level.
Yep, thunder rod is it's like using a bomb
in most games. Yeah.
Yeah.
It kills all the stuff on the level. Well, it does damage to all the stuff on the level. It doesn't always kill it. Some of them will take multiple thunder wands to kill.
Especially later in the game.
Yeah, later in the game, and in later loops it becomes almost useless.
Holy Stick is the same as the Lightning Rod, except it's stronger, but it only works on certain enemies, particularly undead-ish enemies.
Right. They say undead, but there's a few other like random enemies that it works on as well.
Yeah, the fact that it's supernatural.
Yeah, it says supernatural, but I mean, does anything look natural in any of these levels? I think it's all
goblins are natural.
Oh yeah, goblins totally natural.
Trees are natural.
Fairies.
There you go.
There's these snake things. They're pretty natural.
Those houses look pretty natural as well.
That bat's probably a vampire bat.
This isn't even a fantasy game, Feasel. What are you?
It's not. Yeah, this is complete. This is reality.
These are squids here.
This is the true story. This game's based on a true story. Yeah, squids that can breathe air and, you know, maintain form on land, of course.
They just choose not to.
It was on an order. She got a limited print on, you know, you can get a collector's set.
Alright, that looks pretty good. Ooh, nice. that might actually work.
Oh, yeah?
The potion heals
Oh yeah,
you.
potion, right.
Does.
Heals you. You use it
It's cool that
anytime.
you can use it after you die. You get like a split second to be like, oh no, and open your inventory and use it.
Mm-hmm. That
That is a
same,
nice feature.
yeah, that mechanic of the delayed death means you can also actually beat a level and then die the moment you enter the next level. Too. You can beat a level with 0 health and then die in the next level. It's kind of cool.
You can see Cards of the Heart there. Looks like he's taking an odd path through those mountains, but for whatever reason, you have to take an extra step in a couple directions before you can break through certain blocks.
Yeah, the vertical ones, yeah, for some reason you can't just turn and just go straight up to break the vertical ones. You have to walk past it and then back. I have no idea why. A couple other weird things. At the beginning of any level, you can walk to the right through walls. If there's a wall to your right, you can just walk into it. I don't know why that is. There's not really much use for it in a speedrun, but it's possible.
I think I've seen paths with walking down through one too.
Ah, shoot.
Cards of the Heart finishes with a 217. Pretty
Oh.
decent to run.
Already setting the bar
That's
pretty
pretty
high.
good.
And
Yeah,
Caveman
that's...
just getting a run
Well-
on the board with a 313.
No, that's my PB. What do you?
Nah, that's not gonna work.
MC Kids. I'm putting all my money on MC Kids.
Yeah, just stop now and load that up. Actually, no,
No, that's against-
we decided that is against the rules.
Yeah.
That's against the rules. Yeah. I tried to do that once.
Right. It makes sense in some cases. It would be a strategic use of the time if we let that go. So this game is, if you've never played this game before, it really is fun. This is a game that I always recommend to people when they're just looking for, random NES RPGs that they've never heard of. It was released in North America, but I know that I'd never even heard of this game when I was a kid. I don't think that it was super popular. The carts nowadays are not particularly expensive. You can get one pretty easily. And it is a lot of fun. It's easy to pick up. It's only really when you get into hardcore speedrunning of it does the RNG of the game really cause you to bang your head against the wall.
Well, ninjas can cause you to bang your head against.
Oh, the ninjas, you're
The
right.
ninjas
You won't
are
see any
so
of that in this.
strong.
You won't see any of that. The ninjas, yeah, the last couple levels they introduced ninjas, which are extremely unfair. So, thank
So
goodness for
unfair,
some
in
of those.
fact, they actually put in a specific item to stun
Specific
them.
item to deal with them.
Right, the ninja stunners, which you can't get enough of because you really need them.
I actually did a casual playthrough of the whole game earlier this week too.
Yeah, I started my learning of this game with a casual playthrough. I got to stage 61.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
ninjas body. me
ninjas
so
are
hard.
bad. I think I got as far as the third loop ninjas, where the ninjas started in the third loop. It just got too much for me.
I never finished the ninja section with more than one life remaining.
Mm-hmm.
I see there's a couple of other item pickups that the players get. There's like this armor piece and there's also inventory upgrades. Are those useful at all in this goal?
The inventory upgrades are a bit. And if you take so much damage that the armor upgrades count, then yeah, they can help too.
Yeah, so in addition to the offensive items, you can add extra boxes to your inventory. That actually is really helpful. That's one of the most important upgrades to get in the early game. Just the more boxes you have, the more items that you can have available. Because there's some places where there's so many drops. Not so much in this goal, but a little bit more in the next one. There's just so many drops that you can't hold them all. But also the armor pieces that you'll see, they line up next to the hearts, and they're just like extra heart containers essentially. You can also upgrade the damage of your bow and the range of your bow. There are upgrades that improve both of those. I'm not sure, you may see these guys getting those, but you won't really know it because there's no visual indicator. The only way to tell is to look at
They
it
probably
between
won't make too
stages.
much difference in this run anyway.
Yeah, not really. The only is the Manticore is not in this one. It's in the other one, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, this one it doesn't matter too much.
Oh, you can also pick up an extra life.
Yeah, that's right. There's
You're-
lives.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're sad to see it too, because it's useless for the speedrun. But then that winky little face just pops up.
Right.
Yeah.
Hello.
Like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, but Christine's smiling. That's
this
the
is a
main
good
character.
one.
The main character's name's Christine. She's smiling at you. So yeah.
There you go. Yeah, sometimes you could check out the stat screen in between levels if you don't have a run going, because it's kind of funny.
Isn't her occupation or something listed as elf or something?
It's something like that, yeah. Get to see Christine's Facebook page.
Oh, I missed it.
Yes, new TV.
Yay. Oh,
I wish I didn't have to do all the inventory bungling at the end, but
It's not gonna work.
Alright, so we got a couple of times up there on the board, and then Jadian has got a new time coming in to get on the board as well. What happens with each of these runs is these players are having their runs recorded locally, input recording locally through the emulator, and it gets automatically uploaded to us when they finish one of these runs. And Arkhanno, our timing referee, is taking each of these runs that gets uploaded and playing it back to get the exact timing down to the frame, so there'll be no dispute about whose times are better than whose.
Stopwatch is getting a whole lot of work tonight.
Yeah, this with these, short and high completion rate goals, it's a lot of work for Arkhanno. He's gonna keep him awake, I guess.
That's a good thing, because I was falling asleep earlier tonight. This is helping me stay awake.
There are some incredibly rare pickups that you probably won't see, even though we got 3 people resetting and playing over
we'll
and
see them
over.
in the second goal.
Mm-hmm.
There's a mirror power-up that is great when you're actually playing through the whole game, because it makes the final boss a lot easier, but is otherwise pretty useless.
Yeah, it blocks projectiles. It blocks enemy projectiles. There's plenty of enemies that shoot projectiles, but mostly it doesn't make too much difference. But for the boss, you can fight him totally differently if you have the mirror shield.
And a necklace that's worth a bunch of points.
It's like every time you take a step, it adds points to your score.
Yay.
Right,
Yeah,
I don't know.
good
This is still the era where games were fetishizing score, even though it did nothing.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. There you go.
So they added an item that gives you score for free.
Yeah, score for free. And it's probably the rarest drop, so we may or may not see it.
Yeah, wait. Levels are not timed in any way, right?
That's correct. So you could just sit there walking back and forth all you
Yeah.
want, and just getting massive scores. And then showing all of your friends.
Yeah, I'm gonna show them my 999 or whatever.
Right.
They're like, oh, that's sick.
I had 2 drinking birds tapping left and right on the controller all night.
That's a good idea. Or it's a creative idea. I don't know how good it actually is.
Oh, I died again. Damn.
All right, game. If you could stop dropping red potions, that'd be great.
I lost too much time.
Yeah, because inventory space is limited, you'll often see players kind of burning items they don't need, especially potions.
Yeah, normally potions are actually kind of useful, but just in the limited scope of this goal, it doesn't really matter too much. There may be some places where they're going to be taking damage in order to save some time, but, we're probably not going to see health being a big issue.
Aside from the fact that I just died.
Right, exactly. Ignore that.
I don't actually have the stream for the show off right now. I just got the chat up. I should probably open that up in the next few races. Or actually,
Alright, there we go. Now I can finally get out of the stage.
While I open up the stream to look at the time, the scoreboard, I'm also gonna...
Good.
start a dungeon on Puzzle and Dragons to do after this race is done. Multitasking.
Oh, and in case viewers couldn't tell, there are some hidden breakable blocks, but they can only be broken by certain directions. So if you see them kind of walk around something oddly, that's why.
Alright, that works.
So the order and position in which enemies spawn is always the same, yes?
Yes, and it doesn't matter which enemies you kill. As soon as you can only have 5 enemies on the stage at once, and whenever you kill any of the enemies, the next enemy from the spawn order will appear in always the same place, always the same type of enemy. And whether the enemy gives you a drop or not is also fixed. You can't control which drops, but it's always the same enemies that drop. And after you've gone through enough of those, a certain enemy in the spawn order, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, it sort of depends on the level, a certain enemy in the spawn order will be the special enemy, the key enemy, that you need to actually get the key. And you don't just have to kill the enemies, you also have to collect the drops that they leave behind, if they leave one, in order for the next spawn to happen.
Yeah, there's an imposed sprite limit of I think 5.
Yeah, I think it's
sprites on
5
the screen at
enemies,
once.
right. Including the drops, 5 enemies or drops.
Oh, that might be close.
So yeah, there's an incredible amount of planning to have to be able to find the truly fastest way to just kill everything and get the next guys to spawn as early as possible. It's actually, the routing's pretty complex, and you're relying pretty heavily on the offensive items, which, you know, since you can't always guarantee you're going to get the RNG that you want, you need to have contingency plans. So there are some levels where there's different things that you might do based on which items that you have, and in some cases you might just be gambling on what items you're going to get when. So we'll see. Another huge source of RNG is there's a couple levels that have random staircases, sort of like the exits in Gauntlet, the random exits. There'll be a bunch of staircases, and you won't know which one's the real one until you've walked on all of them. So in a speedrun, that's just horrible, and it's like the main impediment to speedrunning it. You can't get a run, like a world record vicinity run, without getting first chance, on all the staircases in the game, which is a huge pain. But you won't see any of that in either of the goals today. No staircase luck.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I could have gone for that. I'd rather be lucky than good.
So I just finished timing Card's second submitted run, and it is 1 frame slower than his first run.
Oh, no.
Wow.
The splits are more accurate, though.
I did say it was gonna be close.
That's okay, I submitted a faster run.
Jadian came in with looks like a small improvement.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get close to that.
Pretty close, though. Less than a second between these. Nope. A little over a second between these two.
I don't even know how that's possible.
They're cheating.
Dirty cheaters.
It must be what it is.
Such brazen cheaters that we're showing off our cheating as we speak.
These guys are just better elves than I am.
Need to channel your inner elf girl.
I always pictured myself as more of a dwarf.
I did too, but I changed recently, so...
Damn it.
Alright, well, today's SGL quiz is, which fantasy creature are you?
Let us know on social media.
Right. Retweet if
Is
you're a
that-
troll.
I figured this would be wrong.
just finished Jadian's time, so it should be updating any second.
Oh, shoot.
Oh yeah, Mikey, that bug doesn't happen anymore. We can't get any 60-second, 2-minute 60-second times or anything like that.
Oh, I should update this.
Sorry, no frame perfect glitches in the timer.
Shoot that thing.
Skeleton athlete, anorexic ogre. These remind me of the little animal familiars that pop up in Google Docs when lots of people are viewing. An amphibian squid. Whoa, that would be frightening. A squid that could come at you regardless of you're in the water or land.
Oh no.
They're in this game.
Well, yeah, but they don't move. But if in real life, oh man, that'd be frightening. The squids in this game are wusses. Come on.
Do they even
They're no
attack?
ninjas.
Yes,
They do.
They shoot at you. They
Yeah.
shoot fireballs at you.
Most of the enemies that shoot will shoot on like a regular timer. It's either a global timer or a per level timer. So most of the time they're not shooting, or they shoot into a wall and you don't notice it. Even a stationary amphibian squid, that probably would be alarming. I don't think I'd want to see that. We've got about 8.5 minutes left to go. This is the 8:28 warning.
Oh wow, this time flew by.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Damn.
Time flies when you're resetting on the first level.
Jadian just demonstrated that there's no audio cue for when the key has appeared. It's either there or it's not. So you can kind of think maybe you killed the right thing, and then you get over there and nope.
And it's not there. Yep. It happens. Yeah, so the trigger enemy on this first level, that green like town level, is one of those red diagonal flyers. It's different from level to level. On this second level, it's that you see Cards of the Heart on. Cards of the Heart was on a moment ago. It's a skeleton that appears at the bottom.
Yeah, the way some of these levels are designed, the game wants you to kill some enemy, and they want you to pass the key and then kill some enemy and then backtrack to get the key. So a lot of our item usage in this run is going to be avoiding that backtracking.
Yeah, that's really the main, the importance of the items. That's why they're important. Is just you otherwise would have to do a lot more walking to get to everything you need to kill.
It's one of the biggest challenges in routing is that because things don't spawn unless you pick up items, you have to, be in a position to both be killing things while also picking up what they leave behind. So, it might be good to snipe something from all the way across the map, but if it drops something and you need to pick it up, that's no good. So.
Right. So yeah, a lot of the walking you're doing is planning. You're planning, where you want to walk to kill the enemies that are going to drop something, and use your, remote killing items on enemies that aren't going to drop something. The item drops will eventually disappear if, one drops far away and you just leave it alone. It'll eventually go away, but I can't think of any levels where you want to do that. Generally, there's always a better way than, waiting for the item to drop on its own.
You may see it in the second goal
And that brown level?
The last stage. The last stage, we have like
Right
enough.
after the magic war.
Is
Yeah,
that the
enough
brown
of them.
level with the circular ring of trees in the top?
Yes.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, you possibly can, because those enemies are, the enemies with the drops are in such inconvenient places that it's, you know, you might see it. If you have the right items, you won't need to do that. Oh, yeah, and there's Christine's Facebook page. There you go. From Arkista, obviously.
Type.
Yeah.
Damn. Oh, really? That's where you spawn? Oh. Okay. Guess that works. That feel when resetting over holy sticks.
Yeah, I like that type elf. Like you took a personality quiz. I'm like, oh, I'm elf type. Interesting.
I hear they're weak to fire type.
Yep, strong against fairy.
Really?
Speaking of death,
So they're steel type. Pokemon jokes. I'll be here
Here
all
now.
week.
Fairy is actually beyond any of my Pokemon knowledge. I just know it exists, and I think it beats Dragon.
yeah,
It does do that.
loses fire. So against the fire breathing dragon, they're in a tight spot.
Alright. Well, we're getting down to the last, 3.5 minutes now. We're getting kind of close to the end. What's going to happen when the timer runs out is the players will be able to finish whatever run they're in the middle of, but they can't start any new runs after the timer has ended. So it's looking like Jadian's ahead by a little bit more than he was before. Still pretty close though, about 2 seconds.
Quite frankly, I think it's gonna have to take a miracle.
Yeah, that's a deceptive 2 seconds, I think.
There's 2 times I've missed were the only times I beat my PB this week.
Well, if you're going to beat your PB, it's good to do it during the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, my time also beats my PB. Oops. Oh boy. Oh, really?
Oh,
Okay.
that sucks. I saw the minus 2.2 split and decided to avoid commentator's curse without mentioning it.
Yeah, I really wanted to comment because I've seen both Jadian and Cards be -2.
Oh.
I'm gonna watch this
like-
stream now to see what happens.
Both of those guys have been so
Oh,
close,
wow.
just taking
Yeah.
the first place. Yeah, CavemanDCJ, the NES struggle.
I am also playing the game. That's how I'm doing. Yeah.
Look at all those helpful potions. Do Thunder Rods damage skeletons?
They
Yes.
do.
Do you need like 2 or 3?
Yeah, you need 2 of them.
Under one back. If you get a, if you get the mana card once for the Thunder Rod, you only need 5 or 8 to 9 tons. I can't
boy.
word.
I am having a lot of trouble understanding you now, Jadian. You were doing good, earlier, but the mic
Yeah,
is just...
I started doing terrible with words. If you hit the Manticore with 1 Thunder Wand, you can kill it with 9 fireballs instead of 10.
Wow.
Huh.
If you take that number down to 8, you have to hit it with like 4 Thunder Wands.
Oh, I never thought of using the Thunder Rod on the Manicore.
I guess it depends on just how fast you can menu over the Thunder Rod.
Mm-hmm. Alright, we're down to less than 20 seconds. 15 seconds.
Oh. Tough decision for Cards of the Heart.
Okay, well, we've reached the end of the timer, so this is your last chance to reset. If you're going to do so, go ahead and do it now. Otherwise, you're stuck with the game. And time is up. So continue on with what you got.
Hopefully, this is just on my end, but I seem to have lost Cards of the Heart stream.
We still got him.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's just the... Yeah, no, it's just Hitbox being weird. We still got him over here.
already.
Yeah, it's not him as well. It's lagging for a little bit, but I think that was just hitbox.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not gonna work. Use the wand a little too early.
No.
This is about what I expected. Not too disappointed.
Alright, so it looks like Jadian's still got a run going. But he's already in first, so he doesn't have
Yep, it's just style points.
anything to gain except our admiration.
What a guy.
Look at this guy, still going. Alright. He can make up that 2.1 seconds, don't even worry about it. Those worms remind me of Slimy from Sesame Street.
No, I can't.
Oh no.
Well, I see he has 1 health, so I'm gonna go ahead and make a
Oh.
bold prediction. He dies.
Well, there you go. Man, the winner is Arkista, I guess. Alright, cool. Well, congrats, Jadian, for winning this match. Beating Cards of the Heart and Caveman. Cards of the Heart taking second by a pretty small margin, 2 seconds. Nice. Alright, well, the next match we've got coming up here, match 2, is MC Kids. And this is a game that all 3 players have had an hour of practice with, so they were brand new at it an hour before we started the show. And so we'll see how far they've come with an hour of practice. There will be more Arkista's Ring as soon as this next match is over. The third and final match is going to be Arkista's Ring again. A different goal than what you just saw. You'll see a different set of levels. There we go. See kids. You guys should check out the website, speedgaming.tv, where you have all the past results from matches. You've got the standings for the league, who's ahead of who, and links to sign up to be a player, to help out. We're always looking for players, and we're always looking for volunteers, and always looking for suggestions for games and goals to play. For the people who have emailed me or messaged me or whatever to volunteer, don't worry, I'm going to get back to you soon. I think there's a couple people that I've told that I'm going to, once I got back from AGDQ, get my act together about what volunteers are needed for what, and that's still happening, but I'll let you guys know soon how you can help out. Alright, looks like everyone's got MC Kids up. Or I'll wait till I see the timers before we start this. Alright, neat. Looks like everybody's got the script going.
And everyone's excited for MC Kids.
I'm pretty hyped
I'm
for
excited.
it.
Look at this 8 p.m.
I'm even more worried about losing that time here.
Okay, well, are the players ready to do this?
Yeah.
I guess.
I hear 2 yeses.
We'll never
Someone's
be ready.
not. Oh, you're just gonna bail out. All right, never mind. We only got 2 players for this. Okay, all right. I'm gonna count you guys down. So get ready to reset. Okay.